What's going on, guys? Well, that's a good intro. What's going on, guys and gals? My name is NekoFluttershy. Welcome to a video. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Konami. So, for those that don't know who Konami is or what Konami is, Konami is a video game company. Specializes in making games that are good, right? You know, DDR, Silent Hill, what else do they make? Castlevania, Yu-Gi-Oh, that sort of thing, right? Well, here are my thoughts on the company. I mean, you know, they're a pretty decent company, but they have done some things that are completely fucking stupid. First and foremost, and probably the most detrimental to the company's health and whatever, they got rid of Hideo Kojima. Now, who the fuck is Hideo Kojima? Well, he is, or he was, you know, the most popular guy over at Konami. You know, Kojima, he made a whole bunch of good games. He had ideas. He basically is, in my personal opinion, what made the company great. You know, Kojima is what, in my personal opinion, is what made the company famous. And what made the company soar, you know, into everyone's houses. With good games like Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid and things like that. You know, I mean, the thing about it is, when you get rid of someone as big as Kojima, that just spells doom for your company, right? Now, you know, whenever you hear the words Konami, or the word Konami, you think of two things. First, it's Hideo Kojima. Secondly, it's the Konami code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. You know, those are the two things you associate with Konami. But nowadays, it seems like Konami, they're being associated with some really bad things, such as bad video games that don't hold up to the quality of what they used to be. Oh, where have I heard that before? Activision and EA. And some people even say Nintendo because they always make the same game over and over again. Mario. Pokemon. And all that other shit. But yeah, like, you know, that's one thing that Konami has done that is kind of a bad thing. They got rid of, you know, Kojima, one of, if not the biggest name in gaming. Well, maybe not the biggest name, but he's one of the biggest names in gaming. And, you know, I mean, Kojima doesn't need Konami. And Konami doesn't need Kojima. He is fine on his own with Kojima Productions making Death Stranding. He is really good at Death Stranding. He knows what he's doing. The man knows what he's doing. Now, another thing that Konami does that I think is kind of stupid is they don't care about the fans. You know, I mean, okay, fine. If you consider Yu-Gi-Oh, I mean, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh is a part of Konami, but, like, if you consider that to be a part of the fucking fan base that, you know, Konami cares about, which even then is kind of blah, I mean, and that's whatever. But, okay, and I'm pretty sure there's not a whole lot of gamers, I mean, I'd probably be shocked because this is the fucking internet in 2021, but, like, we haven't seen a new DDR game in so long. I'm becoming a fucking fossil. By the time the new game comes out. Now, if you consider the arcade cabinets to be new, then yes, they are still making new games. But what I mean is the fucking goddamn consoles. We haven't had a new DDR game at least since the Nintendo Wii. I don't think they made anything for the Xbox 360, the PS3, the PS4, the Xbox One, the PS5, which is the PS5 is still kind of in its infancy, so maybe we might see something, hopefully! Hopefully! And also the Xbox Series X. Now, I mean, you can download things for computers, you know, Dance Dance Revolution Flash or Dance Dance Flash or whatever the fuck it's called, where you can use arrow keys or whatever to play DDR on your computer. But that's not the same thing. That is not the same thing. I mean, I guess technically it is, because it's DDR and whatever. But, you know, it's not the same thing as, you know, getting a PS2 game, you know, and then sticking it in your game console, your PS2 or PS3 if it's backwards compatible, and then playing it. There is absolutely nothing like playing games on the original hardware. And the same thing goes for, like, you know, emulation. Sure, I can download DDR Supernova onto the computer and play it via a PS2 emulator. Right? I can do that, right? But it's not going to be the same thing. It's not going to feel the same as actual DDR being played on actual hardware. And even if you download, you know, Dance Dance Flash or Dance Dance Revolution Flash or whatever, it's again not going to feel the same, even if you have a dance mat for the system, or for the, you know, for the computer. And that's only one thing that Konami basically said, fuck. You know, fuck it. They basically stopped making good Silent Hill games, and they stopped making games altogether, because after Silent Hills, they stopped giving a shit. And then, you know, Castlevania hadn't seen a good game in a while, or maybe in a while, just in general, hadn't seen any video games. Metal Gear, the last game I remember seeing is Metal Gear Survivor, Metal Gear. The one where Solid Snake is killing zombies. I think it's Solid Snake. They could have fucking made a whole new character for that game. I don't know. But, you know, whenever you think Metal Gear, you think Solid Snake. And you also think Hideo Kojima, because, yeah. But, you know, here's the thing about it. Konami just stopped giving a fuck. Making video games that people care about. And that people like. Now, don't get me wrong, I still want to play Metal Gear Survivor. Or whatever that game's called. I want to play it. I really want to play it. But, I mean, if a game like that is getting hated on by a lot of people, and, you know, if your company's becoming a laughingstock of what it used to be, then, yeah. Now, here's something I've noticed. Here's what I've noticed. I've noticed that video game companies from back in the 80s and the 90s and hell, even early 2000s are starting to suck now. EA used to be great. They used to have great games, great concepts for games, great everything. They weren't rehashing the same game over and over and over again every fucking year. Now, yes, their EA Sports titles have always kind of been that way. You know, NASCAR Thunder 2002, NASCAR Thunder 2003, 2000 whatever. You know, NASCAR. Football. Baseball. Basketball. Ah! Too many sports games! But, like, you know, those games were actually fun. Believe it or not. Like, okay. Now, let me tell you a little something. If you gave me a choice to play the modern FIFA game, or the modern football game, you know, NFL or Madden, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you know, if you gave me a choice to play one of those, you know, the newer title, or a game on the GameCube of the same kind of the same brand, same name, I'm going with the GameCube version. Graphics don't mean the game is good. Hell, games are buggy as fuck on, you know, newer hardware. But like, it makes no sense why these game companies are doing the same thing. I get it. If people are familiar with a brand and familiar with whatever, then they're gonna keep making the same thing. But it's like video game companies completely forgot what the word originality means. What brought people to these game developers and programmers in the first place. You know, the only reason people played Konami was because the games were fun. You know, you got Metal Gear Solid, you had Castlevania, DDR, and a bunch of other games that you don't really see anymore. And the games that do exist recently of these games, they suck, and they're not up to quality like what they used to be. So they turned to a laughingstock. EA, you know, with their FIFA games, and when they basically did something with Mass Effect, hell, BioWare also is kind of that way. Activision with their Call of Duty games, you know, like, I mean, it's all the same. You know, Activision, EA, and now Konami, they're basically making the exact same games over and over and over. No real, actual good story. No good plot for whatever. Like, I mean, just come on. And I get it. Familiarity is what a lot of people want. But, you know, you have to fucking think of, you know, we're tired of the same game over and over again. You know, you can only collect so many cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Before you say, you know, we need a new thing of Yu-Gi-Oh! And with, you know, Call of Duty, you can only kill so many Nazis, or you can only kill so many advanced, cybernetic, whatever the fuck they're doing in Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare and things like that, and Black Ops 3. Yeah, you can only do so much of that. You can only play so much Modern Warfare before you get bored. You can only deal with so much, and like, the problem I have with Konami is the same as I have a problem with, you know, Activision or EA. They've ran out of ideas, and the people that had good ideas are gone now, or they're getting old, and so their ideas are bad because they can't think straight. Like, if Kojima was still with Konami, I think that the company now would be great. It wouldn't be a complete shit show, a laughingstock. And, okay, here's my hot take on the whole thing. I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not saying that Konami needs to go bankrupt or die or fade away or whatever. But if Konami did go bankrupt, I would not care at all. They had a good run. And the same thing with EA. If EA ever went bankrupt, I'm sure everybody and their fucking cat would rejoice and be like, yes! No more shitty sports games! Even though I'm pretty sure games like Madden, you know, people like the NFL and the NHL and whatever, I'm sure they would probably find someone else to license and publish their games, you know, their sports titles and video games and things like that, in the way that EA did. And, you know, do I see EA going anywhere anytime soon? No. Do I see Konami going anywhere soon? No. Do I see Activision and Bethesda going anywhere? No. I mean, hell, Todd Howard keeps making fucking Skyrim. Now, I don't have a problem with that because, hey, I fucking love Skyrim. But at the same time, I do, because it's like that's the only game. Skyrim is the only Bethesda game out there. No, it's not. You have fucking Fallout games that, you got Fallout New Vegas, you got Fallout 3, Fallout 4, all these other good Fallout games. You have, it's a whole Elder Scrolls series with Morrowind and Oblivion and what was the other ones? I forgot what the Elder Scrolls series is. And then you got Skyrim, which everybody's gonna be milking for all it's worth over at Bethesda. And meanwhile, I just want to play fucking Elder Scrolls 6 whenever that comes out. Which I don't know if it ever will be on the PS4 because Microsoft is fucking bought out Bethesda, ZeniMax, and things like that. So, if we're talking about it, okay, you know what? That's what I need. That's what I need. We need fucking Elder Scrolls 6 to be on PS4. And if you're going to make it, Microsoft exclusive, put it on a computer. Put it on fucking Windows. Make it a Windows title so I can at least have a chance to play it. Because I have a computer here, I have a PS4. I mean, if it's on any of those two systems, I'll be able to play it. Maybe. PS4 definitely. But with PC, I may have to lower the settings all the way. Maybe get a new graphics card while I'm at it. But, the thing about it is like, they keep doing the same shit over and over, and that's the same thing with Konami. Konami, I think, at this point, is a one-trick pony. Oh, hey, I keep releasing expansions for Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. And then people keep buying it, which, again, I don't have a problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! I like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's really fun. But only in video game form, because, the trading card game, I've kind of lost interest in. I've lost interest in trading cards as a whole. The only cards I collect are the rare ones. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! I only collect the rare cards. And the cards that are familiar with everybody. So, with Yu-Gi-Oh! I would collect the Dark Magician Girl, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and the 3 legendary god cards, and whatever other cards, like Kiribo, or how do you pronounce it? Kiribo, or something like that, yeah. I'm gonna get that one. But aside from that, I don't really care much for Yu-Gi-Oh! And with Pokemon, it's the exact same thing. I'm going to collect Stage 2 Evolution cards, and Legendary cards, and other cards that are rare. Because I feel like if I ever were to sell those cards, I'll be rich. I have a whole entire tin. Well, not really a tin. It's a plastic box that you can see through. One of those magic boxes or whatever they're called. Full of Pokemon cards. Top to bottom with old cards and rare cards and things like that. And I have a lot more than that. I may need to fucking get 2 magic boxes just to fill up my entire, as of now, my whole set of legendary cards and rare cards. So I have just that many. But if I ever did sell that one, I feel like I'd be getting a decent amount of money for it. But anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, Konami. But yeah, like I said, Konami I think is a one-trick pony. In that, the only thing they really care about now is Yu-Gi-Oh! And again, it's fun. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! When it comes to the video games I'll play. I play the fuck out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I poured in over 100 hours into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and that's saying something, because I don't really put in a lot of effort and time into video games, even though I love the games. Like, hell, I could probably easily put in 100 hours on DDR, or something like that, but, you know, the problem is, like, I just don't care, like, about anything else. You know, here's what Konami needs to do, and I do believe that I'm actually mixed on this. I think Konami needs to bring back Hideo Kojima. Now, you know, the only reason I think this is because, hey, you know, Kojima is what made Konami great in the first place. You know, really popular. Now, I think, you know, the old Castlevania games and whatever, yeah, before, you know, Kojima was even thought of as being one of the greatest people of all time in gaming history. You know, yeah, he's what made the company what it is today. A powerhouse. And, you know, I think we need him back. But, at the same time, no, we don't. Now, I'm all for getting Kojima back. I'm all for that. But, you know, Konami already fucked him over once. They only fucked him over once. If he were to come back and they hired him again and did whatever they, did whatever, who is to say that they're not going to kick his ass out the door again in the future? So that's the thing I worry about, right? And honestly, I think Kojima is fine where he's at. You know, he doesn't need them. He doesn't need Konami. And honestly, I think that's good. And I hear talk that people are trying to buy the rights to Silent Hill and Castlevania and all these other games that basically Konami is saying, fuck you. Yeah, fuck Silent Hill, fuck Castlevania, fuck DDR, fuck all these other games that you know and love. We're not gonna make them. Instead, we're just gonna keep focusing on Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, well, eventually someone's gonna come by, like Sony or whatever, and they're gonna either buy you out, or they're going to basically buy all your property. They're gonna buy Silent Hill and all these things. And if you're not gonna make the games that we want, someone else will. I keep seeing a lot of fan-made games for, like, Castlevania and things like that online that are great. And I think, honestly, we need more of those kind of fan-made games. Because, I mean, hell, fucking Konami's not doing it. So, someone has to! Now, Konami isn't all bad. In the same way that EA and Activision and all these other companies are not bad. They're not all bad. Now, yes, they have done stupid things, like I said, you know, with Kojima and not giving a shit about us and the fans and all these things. But the games that they do come out with, you know, like Yu-Gi-Oh! And other things are pretty fine. They're pretty good. But it takes more than pretty good to get anywhere. You have to prove that you're the best. You have to be like Ash Ketchum in Pokemon, especially Generation 1. You have to be the very best like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. But anyways, you know, that's just my thoughts on Konami. Overall, I think that Konami, they're a tolerable, decent company, I guess. But, you know, when it comes down to it, they have made mistakes. And I think by getting rid of Kojima and everything he's been... I mean, hell, in some of the Metal Gear Solid games back in the day, they basically erased all traces of Kojima being a part of the game, a game that he made, a game that he is responsible for making a household name, a game that, in a franchise that everybody and their fucking cat loves from the company. If it's not a Silent Hill, it's, Metal Gear. And the Metal Gear Solid franchise and things like that. If it weren't for those games, if it weren't for Kojima, I don't think Konami would be where they are right now. They wouldn't. They probably would be one of those fucking companies that get shoved off to the side while, other people have their shot. And I do think that, personally, honestly, if I could have foreseen the future, and if all of us could have, probably, we should have probably just said, fuck Konami, and just left them. But yeah, I mean, as much as I love their games, I mean, when we haven't seen a console release of DDR in forever, and yes, I keep hearing they keep doing DDR games, they keep making arcade cabinets, but I don't want to go to Japan just to play some DDR. If I'm gonna go to Japan, I'm gonna spend my whole life there. I'm gonna fucking live there. And, not only will I be playing in the arcades and whatnot, but I'm also gonna be being the best Neko I can be, and basically living in the culture, okay? If I were to go to Japan and live there, I'm gonna do way more than just play DDR. I want to have a purpose for going there. I don't want to go somewhere just because they have arcade cabinets. Now, maybe here in the U.S., that's a different story, because arcade cabinets are a dying breed, and arcades especially. Like, I remember going back, there was a movie theater we used to go to in a town called Athens, Ohio. It was one of the, I forgot what it was called. But we would go in there, and before the movie would begin, and hell, even after the movie, we would go out sometimes, and we'd go take a look at the arcades, and there was always two games I found the most interesting. House of the Dead, because I fucking love House of the Dead, and I think it was DDR. It was some dancing game where they have the dance pad, or the dance mat pad thing, and the overall feel of DDR. I think it might have been DDR, but those were fun. I love I love arcades, and I haven't played an actual arcade cabinet in so long. Whether it be DDR or House of the Dead or whatever, I haven't been to an arcade in so long. Not only because they're a dying breed, and you don't really see a whole lot of them anymore, but I just don't have the time or the money. Like, I got the time, but not the money. Anyways, guys and gals, that's gonna be it for this video. Again, my thoughts on Konami. And my thoughts on Konami is they're tolerable, they're decent, but they need some work. They need to go back to the way things were. They need to go back into making video games that people care about. They need, because if they're not gonna make some DDR games for the console releases, and if they're not gonna make, if they're not gonna make a good Silent Hill game, or, Castlevania, whatever, then just fucking give it to someone else, and they'll work with their franchises. They will fucking do whatever it is that they do, and they may make it even more successful than you. I don't know. But anyways, guys and gals, that's gonna be it for this video. Tune in next time where I talk about EA. I'm gonna fucking talk about EA. Shit. Anyways, guys and gals, that's gonna be it for this video. If you like this video, give this video a like. If not, that's fine too. don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on the whole damn thing. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon down below to get notified of my future uploads and live streams and whatever the fuck else that I do. Follow me on Twitch, because I do some live streams on there occasionally. And as always, we'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, people, and hoof. Oh. That's